Alright, today's going to be much different than my normal videos as we will be going over Teen Wolf. Now, this is your spoiler warning. If you have never seen Teen Wolf at all, or if you have seen Teen Wolf and you don't want to get spoilers about the movie, just go ahead and leave and come back after you have watched it. Okay, now that everyone is gone, that needs to be, we can start to get to our first discussion. I'm assuming that everyone here has seen Teen Wolf. But if you haven't, it's, well, about a bunch of teen werewolves. And, you know, not everyone's a werewolf, but, you know, there's also different supernatural creatures. Not much, but there's a few. And, you know, it's just about their life through high school. And, you know, those types of supernatural things. And through, like, you know, puberty, like, the things you need to do in life, the good, evil. Those types of things, you know. But let's go ahead and get the bad over with. Because this movie, it isn't bad, alright, but there are a lot of things in it that I absolutely hate. The first biggest red flag. Why did they bring back to life Allison? Why? You did not have to do that. There was no reason to bring her back to life, because with you doing that, you're ruining all the character development that Scott went through after she died in the show. Like, all that was pointless if she's just going to be brought back to life. Like, you're just kind of like screwing over all the stuff you done in the show just to make a quick buck on the movie. Like, that's just, I don't like that. I don't care in the fact that she was alive, but the part that bothers me is she stays alive. There has to be some type of, you know, consequence. She doesn't get to stay alive. That's just, to me, it's just like, it's too, like, everything always goes the right way, you know? I mean, I know that Teen Wolf is always like that, but bringing a normal human back to life, no supernatural powers, no nothing. She is just a normal human, and she is brought back to life. And it's not even explained. They go to a tree, or they go to the Nebaton, and they have the sword that killed her, and they just, like, place it on the tree or something like that. It's been a while. And she just appears. Like, if that isn't the worst explanation, it's just bullcrap, alright? There's just no other way to explain that. What are they doing? Alright, this next one is another one that really makes me mad. This show has everything built up at the end to kind of, like, set up Scott's, you know, beta, Liam as, like, an alpha of his own pack, and, like, him being his own, like, little separate spot. So when the movie starts out, we see him alone, we're thinking, oh, he's going to be, like, one of the main characters of the show, and he's going to, like, you know, have his own... No. It's all about Derek's son, Eli. Like, what? Liam has literally been there and has been setting up for that type of thing, for him to, like, take over at some point, and he still has it, and they put Eli there. And not to mention, he barely gets any screen time at all. And even in the final battle, he's not even really there doing anything. I mean, he's there, but, like, he gets no screen time. Like, what? Like, I understand that certain characters can't be there. I'm not that upset about Styles, Dylan O'Brien not being there. I'm really not. That part doesn't upset me. You know, things happen, life goes on, who cares? But a character that has been set up to be a main character in his own right, being one of the most side characters of the entire movie? What? Like, nah, he should have been way more prominent in that movie, and Eli should have been more to the side. That should have been more of, like, a side plot. It should have been more like a side plot. It should have been something that, you know, it's very prominent, but it's not to the fact to where it's the main thing. It should be, you know, like I said, a side plot. It shouldn't be the main plot. And anyway, everyone else's screen time I really don't have a problem with. Besides that, I think Liam should have gotten a lot more, you know, a lot more screen time. I don't know why I can't speak right now. It's because I'm so furious. Alright, now this next one isn't as bad because it's kind of a positive and a negative, but the main villain, they bring back the Nogitsune, and in the show, there's a science teacher that we end up figuring out that he's somehow involved with the supernatural, and that never gets solved, and he ends up being the one being, the top manipulator. So, the part that aggravates me about this is they bring back the Nogitsune for nothing. They could have just made Harris, the teacher, the main villain, and made him have his own little story that is completely separate. Why did you have to bring the Nogitsune back? I know that was the fan favorite, and you're just trying to get people to watch the movie. But Teen Wolf's new ideas are always good. Teen Wolf always has a good job at, having their own lore and, making up their own stuff and having those new ideas. So when they bring back something that they've already done, it's like, what? That's y'all's specialty. And y'all messed it up. But it still does have a plus. I really love the fact they brought back Harris, the teacher. But the one problem I have with that is it's still not really explained how he has any connection. We're still kind of left confused on how he knows the things that he knows. I understand. Well, actually, no, I don't understand. I'm still confused. How does Harris know the things he does? Did I miss something? Because if so, leave it in the comments. But I've watched that movie 5 times and I still haven't seen it. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. And for my final thing, this is the last thing that I hate. The rest, anything that I don't talk about here is just something too minor to really even talk about. But the last thing that makes me mad is... Now, seriously, if you haven't seen the movie, please begone. Alright? But Derek dies. How? Alright, how are you gonna bring back Allison, which I never really cared for to begin with, and take out Derek? How? I know how. I watched it happen. But why? You give us one of the least amazing characters and take away the best. I don't care about Allison, alright? I never really did. Never have and never will. Derek, he's not my favorite character, not even really close. But he made the story work so well. And how are you going to give this man a son and then kill him off? He has got to be, brought back in the next movie, or he's not dead somehow, or something, because you cannot make a character a dad and then kill him off right after. Well, how? What are you doing? And I just don't... Again, this movie is not bad, but there's a lot of things in it that I didn't like. But, with that being said, there are some things that I actually did like. Oh, and one more thing before I forget, I hated the fact that the only time they talked about Styles is for Lydia having a nightmare of him wrecking or something, so they broke up. That's stupid. I don't know why they done that. That is just, I don't know, it's stupid. There's no other words to be said about this. I just hate that, but anyway. But the one thing I will say about Allison is she might have been brought back in the goofiest, stupidest, no-brain, low IQ way of bringing her back. But for some reason, I don't know if it's the chemistry, I don't know if it's the writing, I don't know what it is. It still doesn't make the movie bad. As big as a thing as that is, and as much as I hate it, the movie still stands pretty well. I mean, it's still never going to be in the best movies of all time. It's not that kind of movie. But at the end of the day, the actor's done a very good job at making it seem right. And they also seemed like they've matured. They all done a good job, alright? There's not a single actor or actress in here that was you know what, oh my gosh, they're terrible. No, everyone done their thing. That, bringing their character back to life. None of it felt like it was forced or them overdoing it because they haven't been that character in a while. Everything was perfect as far as acting goes. I liked that a lot. I even liked Eli. Eli done a good job. Even if it shouldn't have been his movie. It should have been Liam's. Come on now. But yeah, the ending, it still felt like Teen Wolf. I was very afraid that it would be since the production was going to be way different and they wouldn't be using all of the same sets, that it wouldn't feel like Teen Wolf. It wouldn't have that Teen Wolf energy anymore, and it would just be, just a higher production, just chance at of them making more money. But no, it still had that Teen Wolf feeling. It still made me, feel pretty nostalgic, and it was a pretty decent movie, alright? I'd give it a solid, 7 6.5, about 7 out of 10. Alright, it wasn't a terrible movie. It was enough to keep me entertained. And I liked everyone's like reprising the role. They done a good job acting. And the movie was, you know, it was alright. It was alright. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, I am very thankful. And I want your feedback. So if you think this video was like really good, because I know I've been doing some anime content and Marvel content. I'm trying to branch out. I'm trying to do a lot of different things. So, yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed. So, see you next time. Yeah.